Satnam and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today we are going to talk about the astrology, the gene key, and the human design charts for the new moon in Taurus. That is happening on April 27th. But before we get into that, let me start by saying hi to everyone that's here. Hello, Linda. Welcome in. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Signu. Welcome in. Hello, Ashley. Jeanette is here. Hello, hello. Anastasia. Hello. Welcome in. So very excited to talk about this moon. The energy right now is insane. And I don't know if you guys watched the video for freaking the weekly video that I did yesterday, but if you remember, we got the devil card and the gene key that this new moon is happening on is literally the shadow of addiction. So my mind is blown. I'm going to just like put this card right here as I talk to remind me of what the hell is happening, but it's crazy. It's wild. It's like, okay, it's called the ultimate addiction. That's like the term that describes the energy. But like I said, this week is already a heavy week. I have been personally feeling it all day. It's going to continue. It's like going to get crazier. Not going to get any easier. I'm going to put some essential oils on. This one is called Steady. Very Taurus-like energy. Essential oils are amazing, by the way. They can help you ground, and they can help you like calm the energy. And remember, I said like you gotta do everything you can to find as much grounding as possible during this time. So with that, we'll get started. I also want to share with you a couple of announcements. First of all, I am very excited about our Sedona retreat, which will be happening from June 5th through the 8th. We're going to be going into some awesome experiences. There's going to be sound healing. There's going to be Akashic journeys. There's going to be hikes towards epic freaking vortexes. We're going to be doing drumming sessions and meditations at the specific sites. I have chosen the sites specifically because of the energy. Also, we're going to be following the astrology of the time that we're together. Yeah, we're going to go swimming. We're going to have a cacao ceremony to finish off the whole experience. And I can't freaking wait. It feels in alignment. It feels so good. People are signing up. And so to get on the, to get invited, you have to fill out an application. And what you do is you basically just click the link. You can go to my website, channelforgrace.com, and click on Sedona. Read the important information here. And if you want to apply, if you're interested in coming, click on I want to apply, and you'll fill out this questionnaire, and then I will send you the invitation with more information and the link to actually sign up. So who's coming to the retreat that is here watching live? That will be fun to know. So yeah, so excited. Hello, Danny. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome in. And yeah, so much happening, so much going on. We're just doing our best to stay grounded, but I'm really excited about this experience. It is going to be phenomenal. And we're also going to be doing a mala making workshop. And I also just purchased and got, let's play that, purchased and got singing bowls, which are, I at the retreat. Oh my God, I literally can't wait. This is a really cool video of an event that I did, a one-day event where we also did a ceremony. I love it. So come join us. It's going to be amazing. Oh, Sedona is just a powerful, powerful, powerful place. Hopefully you guys can actually see this. Are you able to see it at all? Is it playing? Seems like I'm frozen. Uh-oh. Something's up with the connection. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. But either way, let me go back to the screen while we figure this out. I don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't be doing that, but that's okay. So, it's just the energy that we're dealing with, and that's what we have to work with. Yeah, I noticed that it was frozen. I don't really know what happened or why, but it definitely was buffering there for a minute. But hopefully we're back. Let me check the connection, just make sure. It looks okay now. But you guys tell me what you see. It looks like it's okay now. All right. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's a really exciting thing. And I'm going to be coming, I'm going to be fresh out of Egypt again and coming straight to Sedona on this epic adventure that we're going to have together. So, check it out. Let's now hop on over to the chart of this new moon. We can write on it. We can talk about it. So the way that you know it's a new moon, first things first, look at the sun and the moon. They should be on the same, at the same degree and the same minutes to show you that we're together. Does the sound keep going in and out for people? Hang on, let me check. I think it's okay now, but please confirm because I can't tell from where I'm at. It looks like it's coming through clear on my end. But if it is coming in and out, let me know. I mean, I'm like, I'm over it. Like the energy is just crazy. Mercury's not even retrograde and look at what's happening. So sun and the moon are together. They are conjunct, 7 degrees, 40. Oh yeah, the sound is going in and out. Okay, hang on. I need to fix this. 7 degrees, 40. Let me reset it. Hang on. I turned it off and then turned it back on. I'm going to see if it works now. That is the weirdest thing everywhere. Jeanette said it's good for her. Let's see. Oh, it's still doing it, isn't it? Is it still doing it? Oh my god, this is so annoying. I wonder if it's maybe, but it's honestly on my end, it's not showing any of this weird sound shit. It says excellent connection. Hey, babe. Can you check if on your YouTube it's doing a weird thing with the sound where it's turning on and off?
Turning on and off.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I have to keep trying to fix this. So give me a second. Ah. 2. Check 1, 2. I found a sun and a side by can. So far, it's pretty good. Let me try doing that, I guess, myself. If you guys can hear me again, let me know. I turned the mic off, unplugged it, plugged it back in. Let's see what is happening. I found a sun and a side by can. So far, it's pretty good. Okay, I think it's all right now. Let me try doing that, I guess, myself. I think it's working now. Please confirm in the chat. And again, sorry, there's like nothing I could do about it. What a waste of fucking time. All right, moving on. Devil, not today, Satan. Not today. Why? Okay, I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's talk about this. Let's continue. Let's move forward. So we're looking at the sun and the moon conjunct at 7 degrees of Taurus. The good thing about this, the good news is that the moon is actually exalted in the sign of Taurus. And that is where the moon actually feels good. So it's able to find some kind of way to connect more deeply with what it needs, because Taurus has to do with values. And in the moon in Taurus, it's going to want to have stability, and it's going to want to feel secure. So it's going to try to do everything to make sure it feels good, secure, like stable, grounded, all of that. So essentially, a new moon in Taurus should invite us to ground ourselves, should invite us to feel more, connected. However, the intensity that's happening with this moon is because of the T-square to the opposition of Mars and Pluto. That is what is causing all the friction. That's what's causing all the tension. And squares are a push to take action. You can't just sit there and do nothing. So it's like this annoying energy that keeps on like coaxing you, like pressuring you. And so you have to like do something in order to like feel like you're resolving it, in order to resolve it, in order for it to like release, right? That's why it's like anything that you can do to like calm your energy this week and all the way leading up to this new moon, because that's how gnarly it is. This energy is now here already. Today, the sun is squaring Pluto, right? In a couple of days, Mars will, exactly oppose Pluto. Then they're T-squaring the new moon. It's like it doesn't stop. So you're already feeling this heavy energy of the moon happening already now. So the heaviness is here, the tension is here, the stress is here. It's a push to try to get us to find that security, to find that stability. And it's all fixed energy. So Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo are all fixed signs, and they don't budge. They're very stubborn. So if you have anything in Scorpio, which of course I do, this moon is probably opposing my freaking Saturn. Like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. And my Mars. So I have like a grand square, like a grand cross in my own personal chart. If you have anything in Scorpio around these degrees, like 3, 4, 7, around there, you will have a grand square or grand cross, which creates even more tension. So what can you do? What is this trying to teach us? Like, what's the lesson, right? That's what we want to look deeper into. Well, for some of it, it's like there's a lot of determination, and there's a lot of drive, and there's a lot of like push through energy. And then on the other hand, there's a lot of like that frustration and that energy, instead of being used to create something beautiful or like healthy or, activating, it's actually creating a negative effect. So we try to stay in control because we feel the stress, and it turns out like terrible, because it doesn't come out the way we thought it would come out, or we affect people in a negative way when we truly wanted, to get something done. And so power struggles can show up from this energy. Like Mars is like, screw you, Pluto. But at the same time, Mars is like feeling this extra power, like a superpower, I guess you could say. It could be a superpower right now with the squares to the sun. But at the same time, it's like, if it's, like I said, if it's used in a negative way, then it's not going to come out. It's not going to feel right. There could be violence, there could be really like difficult energy. So we have to somehow find a way to move through it with grace. So the motto for the week, I wrote the today, the newsletter, and I said the motto for the week is grace under pressure. Like, move through the pressure with grace as best as you can, finding as much grounding as you can. But the lesson is that don't sit still either. It's not gonna go away by just sitting there and drinking some tea. I tried it earlier. It didn't work. I'm just kidding. You have to like move your body, like go for a walk, get on the exercise machine. I can't freaking wait to start working out again. All of a sudden this week I was like, I gotta work out. I haven't worked out in a while, which is obviously not good, but I've just been doing so much work that it's like impossible to like find the time. So, but the pressure of so many things going on at the same time too can be seriously overwhelming. So let's just say not the best energy for a Taurus moon, but definitely pushing us towards something. How that unfolds, that depends on each and every one of us, right? So what other aspects are happening with this moon? There is a trine. So let's look at Uranus a little bit. The ruler of the moon is actually Venus. And Venus is exalted in Pisces. She's direct now. She's not out of shadow, but she's direct, which is good. She's making a conjunction to Saturn and the North Node. So this Pisces stellium is like, hey, this may be a way out of the tension. It didn't work. This may be a way out of the tension. Focus on what brings more compassion. Like, be compassionate. Understand, if you're very, very sensitive, this is going to be like gnarly. It is already gnarly for me. And I'm like trying to move through this energy like, Jesus, how many more days of this shit? Because I am a very sensitive being. But it might be a good thing to at least remember and like tune into like, where are we supposed to be going? Right? And that's what the North Node says. The North Node says, hey, follow God. Follow your spirituality. Lift yourself up to the divine. It's like, oh my God. Okay, Pegasus. I'll get on your back. I'll just get on your back then, because I honestly can't see how I'm going to get up there from way down here. It's kind of like that. So it feels a little impossible. However, we do have Uranus, who is also in Taurus. And he happens to be making an exact trine to the South Node, and then by design, an exact sextile to the North Node. And we got this opposition here. I'm getting through the day by joking and being a comedian. That's what's getting me through the day, by laughing about it, making fun of it. It's the only thing that's helping because it's so ridiculous. So Uranus is revolution and change. You see all the earthquakes that are happening, right, on the planet? Like, the earth is like shaking. My husband said earlier she's dancing. I'm like, okay, she's dancing. I feel like she's kind of like shaking. Anyways, the earth is shaking. Things are changing at a deep physical material level because it's Taurus, and Taurus represents the actual earth. But if we align ourselves, right? If we let go of the need to be in control of everything, of like knowing every single little detail, which is what the South Node is asking, and we remember to follow our intuition, we're going to be guided in the right direction. We're going to end up at the right place at the right time. And yes, even though it's like there's an intense push, we're not going to feel stuck at all. So if you feel like you're not going in the right direction, then what can you do to realign yourself? Is there a big change that needs to happen right now in order for that to rearrange itself, to readjust in your life? This is a period where, like, yeah, something is not whatever is not bringing you stability is causing you more stress. So why are you still doing those things? So letting go is also a big theme. Also surrendering to the fact that things are changing and that that's okay. The energy is working itself through, like it's all working itself out. We just need to find a way through it without like losing our shit. Can you do it? Can you do it? Welcome in everyone. Okay, let's keep looking at what other things are going on that can give us some insight into this. We've got a sextile from Chiron to Jupiter. It's not exact, but that's positive. There's a call to healing. There's an opportunity to focus on healing. It's self-healing, right? So the Chiron will always, in Aries, will always be, hey, it's this about you. Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries during this moon is also significant because this is like the first new moon in Taurus where we see that. And Neptune at 0 degrees is important because it's like a new beginning. It's a fresh start. And so we are essentially starting on a journey of deep healing where we're going to have to go into the depths of the shadow work and come out on the other side revived. That's a big deal. But at least it's a sextile. Jupiter always magnifies everything it touches. So it's magnifying this theme of you need to find some kind of way to be connected to your path, to heal yourself, because in healing yourself and focusing on yourself, you're going to heal others as well. We talked about the conjunction between Venus, Saturn, and the North Node, but those are also, again, making that sextile to Uranus. So positive change is here. You just got to let it happen. And Neptune is also making, so right around here, Neptune is also making a trine to Mars and a sextile to Pluto. And because Neptune is in Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars and Pluto are the co-rulers of Scorpio, the energy of Mars is very, very strong. So it's like, Neptune is like, hey, I'm going to talk to you guys for a second because right now you're acting a fool and you need to like chill out. And so it's like, I'm going to help you find purpose here. I'm going to give you something meaningful to fight about instead of just fighting for fighting. You know, being like, instead of just struggling just to struggle. Like, no. We don't just struggle just to struggle. We need to have a purpose. It's right here. 0 degrees of Aries. It's the initiation. So in a sense, it's like this is a powerful new beginning. New moons are moments where we set intentions. And the intention, like this one is like a push forward like you've never felt it before. Well, maybe you have, but it's like not comfortable. Taurus wants like, I just want to sit here and like drink my chai, my iced chai, and just like take in the sun in my new like patio furniture that has these like really nice cushions that are like really thick. So like when you lie on them, it's just like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. And then Mars and Pluto are like, get up. You're like, what the fuck? It's like that. Like, you can't sit and rest. Like, no, we got to do something. We got to work like soldier. Like, it's like, dude, everyone calm down, but nobody's going to calm down. And that's the problem. Uranus is also on Algol. Venus is on Pegasus. That's why I mentioned Pegasus. But Uranus is on Algol, and she's the demon star. We got the devil card. I mean, he's a big player this week. The devil card represents addiction. And when we get to the Jinki, we're going to learn a little more about what that frequency is. It's literally also the 24th Jinki, which is what this moon is on, is the ring of life and death. Like, you got to be kidding me, right? Are you serious? The ring of life and death is a complex genetic codon group governing the many processes that bring human beings in and out of form, wheeling in the cosmic forces of creation and destruction. This ring is based upon change and the continual mutation of life. In fact, in all cycles of physical cellular mutation, life is programmed to follow the archetypal processes represented by these 6 Jinkis. Its secrets are revealed in the simple wisdom of the 4 noble truths and the 8-fold path left by the Buddha. All life is change and is thus subject to cessation, and all truth lies in the awareness of the present moment. Another message contained within the ring of life and death is that the chaos of play is to be deeply trusted and revered. Play is the expression of genius, and genius always finds a new solution to the challenges it meets along the way. So this is where this moon is happening on the 24th Jinki, which is the city of silence. It's called the ultimate addiction. Like, okay. All right. It's the shadow of addiction, the gift of invention, and the city of silence. So to finish off with the astrology here before we jump into the Jinki, this moon is happening on the ankles chakra, which is about, or the feet chakra, it's kind of the same thing. This chakra is all about walking the earth. Putting one foot in front of the other and following just moving forward, right? Slow and steady wins the race. And it's about the muscular system, which is being definitely it's kind of like the drill sergeant is here. It's like, let's go. Time to freaking move forward. So you can't sit still. Again, you got to use your muscles and you got to use your strength. Grace under pressure. It's like the strength card. That is the ultimate grace under pressure. So you are here to find your grounding. You are here to find your way. You are here to act, not sit still. You're here to remember the direction to which you're going, to remember your spirituality. You're here to surrender to the change that's happening at the moment. You're healing at a deep self level. And all of it is helping you, because in order to heal addictions, you need some freaking strength. This is not for the weak. Dude, I freaking saw a video about 1883. It was like a little clip from 1883 where the girl, the main character, I already forgot her name. She is talking about how out there in the wild, because they're traveling the wild, wild west. She's like, out here, this is not the land for the weak. She's like, this land, this space, eats the weak. It's like, oh my God. That's what this moon feels like to me. Is that TMI? That's crazy. This moon is gonna eat the weak. Now I'm just cracking myself up. But here we go. This is about the direction to which we are going. Let me go back over here and pull this up so we can read a little bit more about this Jinki, which moves from the shadow of addiction to the gift of invention and eventually the city of silence. And I want to read about the city of silence. Whether we feel our suffering as grief, numbness, boredom, angst, frustration. Hey, here's the list of what we're feeling. or any other deeply uncomfortable state. We like to avoid it. So we find patterns of behavior that temporarily suspend the discomfort. So, hey, if you're addicted to something, don't even think about it this week. Don't even touch it. Silence. Exiting the wheel. The 24th city is a challenging city to write about because how do you describe silence? Obviously, you cannot. What you can do is consider the manifestations of this city and build a context around it. Thus far, we have looked at the nature of addiction and how it can be elevated or transformed into creative invention. We have discussed the way the brain follows patterns and how these patterns can mutate into newer, more efficient, and more original patterns. When we come to the Siddhic level, we really have to put away the mind all together. Don't be a jellyfish. Silence is the natural background state of all human awareness, and silence can only occur when thinking ceases entirely. Over the centuries, human beings have tried all manner of techniques to stop the mind from thinking. Thinking can, in fact, be masked by certain techniques, but that temporary quietness is not the same as the pure silence of the 24th city. The silence of the 24th city is a silence that descends on you, even though it already lives inside you. It occurs as a result of the shift in the inner geography of human awareness. True silence reigns when the mechanism controlling your awareness moves from your head down into your solar plexus. You cannot say that silence is experienced because silence invokes the paradox of there no longer being an experiencer to have an experience. Silence negates everything, fusing together both subject and object. For awareness to shift in this way, some kind of physical mutation has to occur within the human body. Certain chemicals must be released by the endocrine system that prevent the process of normal acoustic thinking. You no longer think, but are thought by life. This is not something that can be described. At the Siddhic level, there is no longer thinking, but there is both knowing and not knowing simultaneously. Not knowing is there when awareness is at rest, and knowing is there when awareness engages in some form of communication with the outside world. Both expressions really amount to the same thing. When the mind ceases to think, then all addictive behavior also ceases. The ultimate addiction of believing yourself to be separate from life is eradicated. In this case, silence does not necessarily denote physical silence. The silence of the city is an internal silence that is permanently engaged. Just as addiction can be transformed through natural gaps in the functioning of awareness, so the Siddhic state exponentially expands this gap. Awareness itself is shown to be a veil that obscures the true nature of these gaps, which is really windows into the nature of pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is silence or emptiness. It is represented temporarily at the time before the beginning of the world. Only true inner silence can bring an end to the maya or illusion of your separateness. It is this silence that lies between and behind the activity of your thoughts that systems of meditation attempt to induce. The 24th city has other surprises too. The ancient Chinese sages named this 24 hexagram of the I Ching returning, a name with many interpretations and implications. We have already seen how the constantly revolving nature of this gene key is played out. It is rather like watching a film reel going round and round over the same series of frames until, at the gift level, a new set of frames is spliced in before the revolution continues. The circular movement of life returns to the gap of silence, that magical place where evolution and mutation occur. This is the silence between the words of life, or the gaps between the atoms that we have already mentioned, the so-called elusive dark matter of modern physics. In terms of human destiny, our sages have ever sought to explain this returning movement at a metaphysical level, and it has given rise to many of the great mythical theories, two of the most enduring being that of karma and reincarnation. Of particular relevance to the city is the entire doctrine of reincarnation. The sages have long spoken of the greater destiny of the human soul as it incarnates into the world of form, lives out its karmic cycle, and then reincarnates again and again until such time as it transcends form altogether. It is as though human beings have a kind of cosmic addiction to form itself. Oh, well, that's going deep. And until this addiction is broken once and for all, excuse me? Humanity can never be truly free. Well, shit. At this final stage in which the connection with material form is ruptured, the soul is said to become enlightened. Taurus is not going to like this. The soul is said to become enlightened and returns to the ocean of being or Godhead. It is easy to see how such doctrines have emerged from the way in which the human mind interprets life through this 24th gene key. In the postmodern age, the West has picked up this primarily Oriental idea of reincarnation and adopted it as a mainstream New Age dogma. Have we now? Most of the better known contemporary teachers and gurus speak openly about the fact of reincarnation. Indeed, it is discussed in some considerable depth through the 22nd gene key. However, as the 24th city bears witness, reincarnation is simply one interpretation of a much simpler truth. And from the point of view of this city at least, it is nothing but an illusion. Dun, dun, dun. Despite what the teachers may say, most people like the idea of reincarnation because it gives them the sense that there is something about themselves they hang on to after death. It gives us a sense of continuity and justice underlying all creation. From the point of view of the 24th city, however, reincarnation is simply another human concept born out of the language of the Maya itself. Well, crap. This theme is explored in more depth in the 44th city, which is the programming partner of the 24th city. Both these cities strip the human story down to its purest and simplest form, in which human beings are viewed quite coolly as simply genetic equipment for consciousness to play in. You got that? You are simply genetic equipment for consciousness to play in. AI, anyone? Just kidding. When one piece of equipment dies, it is gone. It is played a part in writing a great transcendent script. Even though the equipment has died, the play must go on, as the saying goes. Well, this saying is crazy. Therefore, what appears to keep returning to the world of form actually never leaves. Bodies are born and die, and their specific awareness functioning dies with them. But the overall consciousness beneath continues. It is silent, undying, intangible, and beyond form. Thus, when you identify with or remember a past life, or even a future life, you are simply reading the information within your fractal line. It is contained within your blood. But no aspect of me survives death, except the silence of consciousness itself. How can there be anything other than silence when true silence negates awareness? There is indeed, this is deep, y'all. There is indeed relative truth within the concept of reincarnation and its culmination in enlightenment. However, the whole attempt to identify with continuity of awareness is a watered down truth. The only thing that really incarnates is silence itself. What? In the 22nd gene key, you can read all about reincarnation. The gradual enlightenment of the various subtle bodies as they incarnate into form, move through the bardo states in between lives, and then return again. You can also learn about the causal body, the subtle layer of your being that survives death to carry the essence of your evolution on into the next life. But the causal body is seen as an illusion at a certain point in that process. And as it dissolves or shatters, so your enlightenment dawns. At this point, reincarnation ends. And you find that gap in the great wheel and exit the whole drama permanently. All these wonderful descriptions are in fact part of the script of our celestial drama. And the real purpose is to help settle your mind and give it a sense of logical continuity. Nevertheless, stay cognizant of the nature of the vast paradox that hits you at the citic level. All such descriptions are essentially devices within the Maya that may or may not help you to relax within the Maya. The key is always to relax, and Taurus likes that, because only as you relax can you find the magic gaps and experience the truth directly, not through your mind, but through your innermost being. Within the flowing story of the Gene Keys, the 24th city is the great trigger for the enlightenment experience. Oh, thank God, because I really need that right about this weekend. At a certain point in the evolution of every genetic and karmic fractal line, a certain piece of genetic equipment comes into the world that represents the culmination of that line, and it explodes into its full blossoming. As it explodes into its full blossoming, it brings an end to a whole mythic aspect of the human story. As more and more of these people are born, the overall story of humanity will slowly come to an end. That sounded like a ride. Keep your hands and arms inside the train at all times until it comes to a complete end. Till it comes to a complete stop. With all the stories, when all the stories have been told, all that will remain will be the silence that there was all along. In those magical gaps between the atoms, the notes, the words, and the lives of all human beings. Well, that was quite something. I have no commentary. That was kind of crazy. But what we can do is ask ourselves, where is this in the human design chart? Where is it? Like I tell my dogs, where's your dragon? Where's the dragon? All right. Well, we're in the Ajna, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What is the Ajna Center? The Ajna Center is the center for processing thoughts. The thoughts come in through the head and they get processed in the Ajna. So let's find out about what is the actual purpose of the 24th gate according to human design. The gate of rationalization. The return. People who go over and over things, seeking to rationalize them. Oh, Lord. This doesn't sound good, guys. This is not a good prospect, Just kidding. This gate screens all the new thoughts that come through the 61, selecting what is useful and potentially inspiring for others. It has great potential to impact others once it is clear. Without the 61, though, we don't have the 61 unless you have the 61? Without the 61, these are people looking for a mystery to resolve. If they are not clear about their own nature, their mind can become their own worst enemy, constantly reviewing their own life and trying to make decisions from them. These are very simple-minded individual thinkers who need considerable time to contemplate before the penny drops. They have a great need to hear things over and over. Sounds familiar. Before they are integrated and make sense. These are also the kind of people who will not let go of a worry until it is resolved. Resolutions usually come when they can find an atmosphere of silence, often in the middle of the night. This is too funny. The struggle to resolve through a thought process. The fear of ignorance. Wow. Melancholy over no resolution and therefore no inner silence. The gate of migraines. Okay. Anxiety over mysteries. This is so interesting. Okay, so let's look at this channel that we got connected here, because during this time, we do have a... Oh, look, the channel of money. So because this channel is defined, and I'll look right now in a moment to see what are the actual planets that are on the channel. I think this is... Hang on. 4521. Yeah, it's ego circuit. Okay, Mercury and Jupiter on the money line. So the 45th gate, the gate of the gatherer. The 21st gate, the gate of the hunter, huntress, biting through. People who must be materially independent and who thrive when given control. People who are here to oversee the future and wealth of the community. Yours is a life where the material plane has to be embraced fully. You are here to make money through the power of your will. It is not natural for you to work for anyone but yourself, since you are uncomfortable with others controlling you in any way. See, this is the tension. Like, do you feel the tension? Because I definitely feel it. Mars is on the 31st. And Pluto is on the 41st. So Mars, remember there's an opposition between Mars and Pluto, right? So Mars is in the throat center. Mars energy is about like drive and motivation, and like it comes outwards. He just came back to Leo. And he's pissed because he was just in freaking Cancer forever. And he's like, I am so over it. It's not even funny. And now that I'm in Leo, I'm going to freaking make some noise. And then he catches up and opposes Pluto again and brings in like intensity, brings in aggression, brings in like, okay, oh, it's on now. Right? So we're experiencing that at the same time. He is in the gate of influence, the law of friction, whether active or passive, that engenders transference and thus influence. Friction, right? Friction. And then Pluto on the 41st, the gate of contraction, the limitation of resources which maximizes development of potential. He's in the root. So Pluto, the root is about dealing with the pressure and the stress of life. So Pluto is playing this role of like pressuring and stressing us, and Mars is like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. You know, so then the tension creates, and then we spend a lot of time trying to figure it out, going in our mind and trying to like resolve it, solve the mystery, solve the mystery, solve the mystery. You cannot move forward until you solve the mystery. It's a very interesting energy. I mean, I cannot make a lot of sense out of this, to be completely honest with you. Even though it's the gate of rationalization, it makes no rational sense to me. It's also line 1. This new moon is happening on the first line, which is the line of, it's the creator in the Gene Keys, and it's the investigator at a basic level in the human design. So there's like, you need to find the answers. We are looking for something. I feel like for sure we're trying to make sense of what's happening. But because it's not a complete channel to the 61, we're not really understanding fully what that is. But we're trying to make sense of it. So we need to find our grounding so that we can come up with some kind of, I was just thinking about you, Lish, to come up with some kind of answer. But at the same time, you have to know that maybe you won't even come up with the answer. So this is individual knowing circuitry for where the new moon is, which is you need to follow your own direction. And the connection, we didn't look at the whole channel, but we looked at part of it, but it's called the channel of awareness. So there is an energy of bringing awareness, like we're trying to become aware. Maybe we're becoming aware very slowly, but it's going to take time, and we need to really process the thoughts. You have to process the thoughts in order for them to make sense. You have to rationalize it, right? So you think about it over and over and over. So this is why it's the ultimate addiction. It's like you get stuck and you can't get out of the loop. And that's why it's to transmute the shadow of addiction to the gift of invention, so that you can step into the silence and stop the freaking loop. So ultimately, we want to find the gaps in between. And by finding the gaps in between, that's where we're going to find our grounding. Not in the chaos of like what's happening and what we're thinking and what we're trying to make sense of the world, but actually in the gaps. Wow, this is actually really cool. So as you're moving through the energy, right, through the gaps, through your life experiences, you're learning. The key would be to learn to take a moment in between what's happening and see if in that space you can find some stillness and some grounding this week, leading all the way up to the new moon. At least that's what I would recommend. So I want to finish by reading what I wrote, which, by the way, the book is almost done. I mean, it's pretty much done. This week I'm going to be submitting it. So we are so close, you guys, to the book coming out. I can't freaking wait. But I wrote like a little channeled message for each of the new and the full moons. So I wanted to share that with you before we finish this broadcast. And it did feel a little bit, for me personally, I'm like, this is a lot. Like there's a lot going on. So again, find your grounding. Find the gaps in between. This is what I wrote. This new moon opens up the potential for powerful awareness. The kind of awareness that helps you be more present. The question is, are you prepared to be present? It is definitely not an easy feat. So what can we do to help us tap into this energy? We have to surrender to where we are at, and we have to start taking things slowly, placing one foot in front of the other. Our footsteps know the answer. They know where we've been, they know where they are, and they know the direction to which they are going. The journey we are currently on is one where we have to focus on ourselves, to investigate and find out everything we can in order to know what steps to take next. The challenge is not to resist looking deeper, because when we resist, we are only delaying ourselves. In which ways are you behaving avoidantly right now? Which one of your favorite addictions are you reaching to escape being here? One of the most powerful things we can do right now is play. Let your inner child out to see what it can do. If we let ourselves imagine, dream, and believe in magic, we will see it all around us. Don't be afraid of your passion and intensity. Don't be afraid of your dark emotions. Channel that passion into something powerful. Know your worth and value. God is present here with you in more ways than you know or are aware of. Close your eyes and be still, and let the hand of God touch you. Change is inevitable, and change is here. Trust your heart and feel your devotion to yourself, and then let that guide you forward towards your purpose. That's what I wrote about this moon. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being patient through the tech issues in the beginning. be as grounded as you can during this energy, during this week. It's gnarly week. Like I said, it's not going to ease up. It's going to be even more challenging. So the best thing that we can do is find the stillness and the silence in the gaps. Thank you guys all for being here. I will be live again on Friday. I'm going to do mini readings. And basically the way it works is to you get on the list by sending the payment. There's a description in this video and in the description of the video that's been scheduled for the mini readings. There's only like 10, 15 spots max. So you don't want to wait to sign up if you definitely want to get on the list. I don't know if it's going to get filled up before Friday, but it might. So just FYI. But what we do is we do the readings live here on YouTube. So you show up for the broadcast. I have the list. I'll call your name when it's your turn. If you've made the payment, you're on the list. I'll call your name, and then I will ask you to post the question in the chat, and then we'll do the reading. And I will tell you this, that the best readings for the mini readings are the tarot and the oracle cards. And the best way to get the best reading is to actually have a specific question that you want answered. General questions tend to give general answers. Specific questions will give you specific, more clear and to the point information. That would be my recommendation when you're thinking of what do you want to know? What do you want to ask? And other than that, I will see you on Friday for mini readings. I can't wait. I haven't done them in a while, and I won't do them for a while again. So this is your chance to have some fun. Come and have some fun with us on Friday night at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of this week as best as you can. And let's move through it together. Remember, grace under pressure. Sat Nam, and I will see you guys again very soon.